Today is Monday, June 9th, 2025. Pretty big red day for me. I'm down 185 bucks, which is right at 7%. Not my biggest red day, not my biggest red trade, but still a pretty solid red day for me. Much worse than I would have liked to have had for a kind of a baseline red day. I was originally going to try and make 4 moves. After going 0 for 3 on my first 3 moves, I decided to just call it a day and watch from the sidelines for the rest of the day instead of potentially making bad worse. Kind of off on my timing. A couple of the moves I was just chasing instead of letting the move go without me. I had watched a couple moves go without me that I kind of told myself I should have been in on, but I wasn't. So just kind of a little bit of everything, fear of missing out, and you know, chasing these moves. So patience and commitment, a couple things I need to continue to get better at. When I do commit, a lot of times it's at the wrong time, so I need to get better at just trusting my gut and letting it be what it is instead of trying to catch up and end up making poor entries. So learn from that, hopefully, and let's get some momentum back for Tuesday so we can finish this week clean instead of stacking up some more red days. First trade of the morning on the ticker KLTO. This is pre-market. We had a nice upward swing here into some consolidation, a little bit of a bull flag, if you will. Once we broke the low on this red candle, I got in thinking we were going to make a squeeze up to the 70-cent mark. Didn't really happen. We had previously hit about 68 or 69 on this topping tail before it consolidated. So that's where I was thinking this was going to go. The MACD was still nice and open. What ended up happening was we kind of tickled the 65-cent mark, and then we started coming back down. Ended up getting out on this next candle, this red candle here. I only lost about 24 bucks on this trade. I'll call that a good loser because it in my eyes, it had the potential to make a nice upward swing here. The volume had somewhat died off here, but it is what it is. Not a bad trade, not a good trade, just part of it here. This is my second move on the morning, ticker SVRE. We had quite the spike up here. I didn't see it until this major green candle here was forming, so I knew I needed to wait for a decent pullback. We had that here, a little bit of consolidation. Where I ended up getting in was on this green candle here. I liked the flow of this. MACD was still nice and open. I had a potential to take some profit off the table here, but I thought we were going to start climbing back through the $2 mark up to the 225, which is kind of where we had some topping tails here. This candle flashed all the way up to around 210, and then it just started coming back down. I ended up getting out. This was my worst trade of the day. I lost about 110 bucks on this trade. By the time I got out, we had some pretty wide range on these candles, so I kind of held on to this loser a little bit longer than I should have, thinking that maybe we were going to get another bounce back here, but all it did was go downhill from here all the way back to where we were when we even started. So not my best loser, not my worst loser. I hate seeing profit go away. I could have made a decent amount of profit at a couple different times here. It would have been nice if I could have caught that topping tail there, but I'm not quite quick enough for that stuff yet. But I had a solid potential right around the VWAP line here to take profit on this move before it ended up going below there. This is my third and final trade on the day, ticker ELEV. Big swing to the upwards here. I ended up getting in on this green candle, basically about the top of the green candle, thinking we were about to break the 50-cent mark, and what I was hoping for was kind of some consolidation in the mid-50s range. Didn't end up happening. Basically, this flashed up for just a millisecond, and then we just started shitting the bed right away. I got out of this trade. I lost about 48 bucks here, but man, we had super strong momentum. My lesson here is I should have waited for a proper pullback instead of just buying randomly into this move. because as soon as I bought, it started going downhill from there. Like I said, I bought the very top of this green candle essentially. We flashed above there, and then it just went downhill. A little bit of patience, waiting for the proper setup. At this point, FOMO had kicked in, and I was really committed to just getting in on a good trade. And instead of being patient, I made a really poor entry that ended up costing me about $50.